Aseel is an Arabic word that means pure or pure blood. The aseel is a rooster of ancient breed, from India and Pakistan. About 3,500 years ago, the Indian territories were undergoing great changes. Enormous cities of yesteryear were in decline, and Indo-European semi-nomadic shepherds from Central Asia, arriving in large groups. They brought with them the domestic horse and the two-wheeled carts. These Aryans were already beginning to compose an oral poetry consisting of hymns, spells, rituals, dialogues and proverbs, which in later times will form the Vedas, the ancient fundamental literature of Hindu civilization, the Dharmashastramanu. Around this time, 1500 years before Christ, the Dharmashastramanu is written, a classic work on laws, order and ethics, one of the oldest writings, where we find the first references of an animal that has been won by force of blood and power, its title for many years as the best rooster on the planet. We are talking about nothing more and nothing less than the powerful aseels. Aseel, the sword of the princes. Without a doubt, the aseels are a variety of birds that are highly valued, mainly due to their legendary origin. Being of the races of older chickens that survive today, other lines developed from selective crosses have allowed for better balances when trying to obtain champion roosters. That's why today we find roosters from the level of hatch, sweeter, kelsos, roundhead, Argentine pintos, or Brazilian aseels, among many others. However, the aseel is traditionally said to be the only rooster race that can be crossed with any other race, and the result will always be a more powerful specimen. Based on archaeological findings, the oldest evidence of organized rooster games has been found in the Indo Valley, Pakistan, but that was Indian territory until 1947. According to the findings and references in ancient sacred writings of India, the birds of the jungle, the partridges, the quails and the roosters were made to fight as a pastime of the warriors and soldiers in their free moments, which was practiced for a long time, until finally it was introduced to the culture through religion. The fights have had so much impact that although it seems strange, these exhibitions have been the origin of wars, as between Palinadu and Makarla, and more recently the War of Babili and Vizianagaram. This famous battle between two kings makes the two cities, Vizianagaram and Babili, stand out in history. It was known that the two kings promoted culture, traditions and education in their kingdoms, and they maintained mutual cooperation and friendly relations. The cockfight was a traditional game with bets during the Sankranti festivals, and the king of Vizianagaram, by name Vijayamarayu, was the main guest of a festival of Sankranti in Babili, where of course he showed up to show off his roosters in front of the lord of the local city. The cockfight between the two kings became prestigious, and as expected, many people attended. Sadly for the special guest, Vijayamarayu, his very select aseels were defeated. Only this fact was enough for Vijayamarayu to be filled with rancor against Babili's Rai. This fact changed the relations between these two kings. He was determined to take revenge and just waiting for the right moment. Realizing this, the French governor, Lord Busy, took advantage of the situation and insisted on creating more taxes, while the king of Babili refused to pay. Vijayamarayu made an alliance with Lord Busy and declared war on Babili's kingdom in 1757. All of India remembers this war because it was terribly bloody. Vijayamarayu, king of Vizianagaram, with the help of the French governor, won the war, but he was killed the same day he celebrated the victory. The aseel is the most popular breed among the Mughal emperors and some Nawabs of the states of India. For many years their princes raised them and helped preserve the most exquisite genetics. They established the aseel to play and also develop their beauty. It is recognized as the oldest established game bird breed. Although there are several clubs of aseel lovers around the world, the Calcutta Aseel Club also has a website but claims that it no longer promotes cockfighting, because it is now illegal in India. Today the fights of birds still prevail in certain parts of that country, in the name of tradition and religion. For example, the markets of Jad or Weekly in the state of Chhattisgarh are incomplete without the bloody sport of cockfighting, where the sound of the roops changing hands makes the birds keep fighting. The aseel family is really huge, and there are many classifications, based on their place of origin, structure, color, size, and so on. Over 500 varieties of aseel have been found and thousands of sub-varieties. In addition, new varieties of crossbreeding and selective breeding are created every day, but apart from all the classifications that can be applied, they are also classified according to their purpose, since there are combat and ornamental type aseels, which are very beautiful in nature. They are native to southern India, especially in Tamil Nadu. Sometimes they are compared to the appearance of a peacock and their varieties are not few. For example, long or long-tails, parrot-tail or long-tail. The long-tailed aseel is also found in other parts of Asia such as Thailand, Indonesia, etc. But they are not like those found in Tamil Nadu. In terms of size, the highest are the Madras aseel variety, which often reach 82 centimeters in height, and weights have been recorded between 11 and 15 pounds. There is also a dwarf version, the Bantam aseel chickens. They were developed for the first time at the end of the 19th century by an Englishman, Mr. Entwisle. His bloodline lasted only 20 years and disappeared. Almost 100 years later the aseel bantams were resurrected in the 1980s. A Belgian, Mr. Willy Coppens, used chameau, Indian game and Reza aseel to recreate the new aseel bantam, which we know today. One of the most peculiar aseel is the Bhangam. It is the only variety that has a big and unique red comb. While it aligns with all the other common traits that are seen in the chicken aseel, its particular crest makes it really special. A strange aseel is the aseel madru, which is the only aseel variety where the rooster has the plumage of the hen. In addition to their feminine appearance, the roosters lack haws and their distinctive tail feathers. There are many standards based on its location and fighting style. To learn how to identify a champion aseel, the finest qualities that turn out to be the most expensive, we can rely on a classification provided by the Calcutta Aseel Club, whose link let you down in the description of this video. However, remember that Southern Asia is the home of the rooster aseel. This rooster was raised to fight with his covered natural spurs and not with artificial spurs. Each encounter is a test of strength and endurance. The bloodline had such physical condition, durability and playability that the battles could last for days. This fighting style produced a powerful and muscular bird with a strong beak, a muscular neck, thick and powerful legs, along with a bellicose temperament and a stubborn refusal to accept defeat. There is a recent history of the year 2010 in the city of Midnapur, West Bengal. An aseel killed a man, the same man who had trained him to fight other roosters. It was a day when the rooster had already won 4 fights by killing his opponents. The aseel was very excited, so when he was forced into the arena once again, the rooster turned around and attacked the man, jumping on him, cackling and flapping his wings while the sharp metal blade strapped to his feet was cutting the jugular vein of man, which unfortunately bled to death, since first aid was not available. Apart from India, this rooster is also an object of worship in Mainwali, Pakistan, where it is the current favorite as a game breed used in the pits it give the best odds. Physically, the aseel is a bird of defined contours, of medium size, with strong bones, very wide and muscles, port erect, quite low on the legs. The body of the aseel is different from that of any other race. It is short, light cut at the end. The plumage has little or no depth. The hen, with exceptions for the typical physical points of sex, should resemble the rooster at all points. The aseel, when you caress or lightly touch it near the vent, Immediately the rooster begins to preen and grease its feathers. The aseel chicks are calm to the deal, and they are never wild in the hand. When you snap your fingers, a rooster aseel will dance, when lower its wing, as when courting the hen. This characteristic behavior is applied to a lesser degree to birds, which are only the remote cross with aseel blood. He loves to be manipulated and caressed. One can take an aseel at any time. When it are in freedom, purebred aseel chickens go with their chicks from 6 months to a year old. This unlike the common hens that do the same for periods of 6 or 8 weeks only. The aseel is characterized for being very strong with good structure, constitution and temperament. They are also known for their clever defensive and tactical thinking, holding power for a long time in a resistance fight. An excellent aseel is tolerant, careful, cunning, brave, and does not get scared with feeling pain. It will never leave the circle. This is the aseel's resistance symbol. It always hits the target. It is precise. If the aseel hit the eye or the temple, in the whole game it will attack in the same area. If the aseel makes a hit, a serious damage, then in the whole game he hits the same pattern, place or area. This type of aseel is known as caribous, a hard hitter. It's a very back type of aseel. If he comes from pure race, he is a brave fighter. Super tactical and resistant. A few decades ago, the aseel was widely reproduced, but after the prohibition of the use of these animals in contention events, the population of aseels has been greatly reduced. Although in India, the chicken aseel is seen in most cities in the United States, the American Livestock Breeds Conservancy catalogs as critical the status of this breed, and there are breeding places where they still reproduce it only for conservation purposes. Even so, many fans of the aseel fighter rooster appreciate the race's resistance to physical structure, strength and temperament. Despite its crosses and the appearance of other bloodlines, the legendary legacy of aseel genetics, the favorite of the Arab princes, has not yet been eclipsed. When we are in the presence of a purebred aseel, we can't deny its essence, its elegance, its power,